LGBTQ community, where our core principles are education, empowerment, and enrichment. And we're having a needed conversation here on the criminal justice system, the gun violence here in our country, and everything. We have a caller. David, you're live on KWAM 990 Talk Radio, the Unleashed Voice. Go ahead. David? Yeah, how you doing? You okay? Good evening. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Yes, sir. Thank you, my friend. Mm-hmm. All right, amen. Me.
Wrestling.
A whole lot of folks love God too.
Hey, you used to go to the Coliseum, David.
Okay. Okay. All right, David. Me too. No, I love him too. It is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I totally agree. I agree. She did. I agree.
Right.
I just find it hard to believe because everybody was saying he just got a new job and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very difficult to believe. I do wish the family well, and I don't know them either, but stuff like this happens. And lastly, and then you made a comment about rights that we have more complaints about the police killing us than we have about the thugs.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons is because we don't pay the thugs to kill us, but we do pay the police.
I agree.
I don't use any word in my house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go for it. I got children, friends, children, but they just can't let that word go.
Yeah.
And I certainly don't like the idea that the quote unquote black on black crime, which is Malcolm said ain't no such thing.
Right.
Crime.
Right.
So I don't like that either. But one thing is sure, if I was paying for it with my tax dollars to have surgery, then maybe I wouldn't have as much complaint. Maybe that's what I'm paying for. I'm paying for these. Treat me exactly like they treat every other citizen when they stop them, when they arrest them and all that. They don't have the right to take our life. They're not judged during that execution. So I'm not saying that this policeman was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that investigation needs to go on. But it's good and funny in times of day. Why does this always happen with us for the most part? Why is it we can't just get arrested without just going to jail and being put out and then we go to the prison? You know?
You know,
Okay. Well. Well, thank you, David. We got another caller. Well, thank you for your comment, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for listening.
keep listening to us.
Go ahead and respond to him before we read the next call. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bring
You
the
want to say
next
something
call.
for the next call?
All right,
Go
there's
ahead,
another
bring the next
call.
Jackson, you're live on the Unleashed Voice for the LGBTQ community. Go ahead. How you doing, Jackson?
Thank you.
This is from the church. It's from
Thank
the
you.
church.
Yes. Okay. All right. LMNP, QIS. Go ahead. Ask your question. I let my mother answer that. Go ahead.
You try to make sense of two women dating, and the one of the women is feminine and the other one is masculine, and
not just masculine, very masculine, just like a man.
Well, we're gonna be Jackson. We're gonna be educational. It's not a word that's very masculine. It's just the word is masculine, correct?
okay. So
All right.
so if we were to try to explain it to you, then it could be a possibility that the woman that you're describing may be transgender, and whereas she identifies with the man as a male, although she has all of the female anatomy. And because she hasn't been able to maybe go through her transition in some form or fashion, she may not want to go through her transition. That just may be her
His.
I can't say his because I don't know the person. I know a lot of women that are thoroughly masculine, but they do not want to be men. And I think it's just a dynamic of the LGBTQ community. It's a sliding scale, baby. It goes all the way from mild and it goes all the way to extreme. And
But I think that's even within the heterosexual
You
community,
absolutely right.
because you have some women that
are masculine,
right? That are
and love
masculine,
men.
right? That love men.
I know about 3 of them. I ain't gonna call no name out.
And I know,
Name Bruce.
and I know men that are very, very effeminate.
Right.
That if I was heterosexual, I wouldn't date them because they too feminine for me. But they're
You
not,
talking about my daddy?
but they're not homosexual. So
All right, go ahead. One more. We got another caller. Go ahead, Jackson.
okay, okay. No. You should have listened to our show when we talked about being bisexual. And usually, from the way that she explained to us that they just don't dibble and dabble or have the best of both worlds at both times. Usually, the person, if they're dating a man, she's with the man, and if she's dating a woman, she's with the woman. She just don't go surfboarding and decide she wanna play the field tonight. So that's not something that it's just more or less knowing the person. It could be you could get you a heterosexual woman and she could be creeping and tipping out with Jody. You know what I mean? So.
It will. I received that. Ow!
Call back anytime. We'll
Thank you.
educate
Thank you.
All
All right.
We got some stuff to get out, and we got 15 minutes to get it out.
Okay, we got 5 minutes to do this.
Okay.
Let's talk about this criminal justice system real quick.
Let's talk about the shooting in Lafayette.
Okay, we'll jump to that, but let me make this point. Remember, they said colored people in the United States make up 30%.
Okay.
Then they said 60% of those in prison are colored people.
Yeah.
Then they said 1 out of 3 black men expect to go to jail during their lifetime.
But David,
What?
Jim Crow is still alive.
That's all I'm saying.
And it's showing when, especially in the South, when the eradication of the flag came out, a lot of people that were racist showed that
They did.
They're standing down in front of that forest man's statue right now.
Right now.
'Cause I live that way, and they down there right now taking pictures and waving flags on Union Avenue.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother me. They can go down there and do whatever they want to do. Okay, but so we're gonna
Go ahead and talk about the shooting.
we're gonna let Pastor Gooch.
I want to say this right quick
Come on
before
in.
we go there. The Bible said the poor would be with you always. It doesn't necessarily say that you're going to be the one poor always.
I sure ain't.
Where I'm going with that is just because there are some things in place does not mean that it has to stay that way. And it comes upon us even as individuals.
Would
even
there be
in,
a correlation to the truth changing?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and even within our black community.
Exactly.
I remember growing up in the projects, but just because we lived in the projects does not mean that we have to take that mentality with us everywhere we go. Where I'm going with this is that as a black individual, as a man of color, I think it's time for us to start rising up to the plate and start changing the way people view us, and not only view us, but how we carry ourselves for people to mistreat us in that manner. as it relates to walking around sagging our pants, as it relates to how we communicate with each other, calling each other ends and fighting, just like the other day when the two guys went into the gym and shot and killed the teenager in the gym. You know, this is what people look at us as animals, how treacherous we are. And if people view that as us, give them something different to look at, something that's beautiful, something that's elegant, something that's worth life-saving.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do some research because I want to find out in the 60s where was black on black crime. I want to find out how prevalent it was in the 70s, how prevalent it was in the 80s.
I think it started in the 80s.
Because I think what usually happens, that happening in our lifetime right now, is fresh on our mind, and it seems like it's just reoccurring. I want to see what this trend has been for the last 50 years.
I think it started when Ronald Reagan was in office, when the
war
war on drugs.
We ain't gonna have to guess.
I think it started when that war on drugs.
But you got to understand, the media plays a big part of that as well. I mean,
and who owns the media?
What I'm saying is,
white America.
But
that's my point.
But if you, and not only that, but if that be the case, then you can't blame it on them, because guess who some of the actors are?
We gonna do some research.
We are. So what I'm saying is how the media plays an intricate role, even in the movies that we watch, with all the violence and stuff like that, how that is repetitive. Far as the news media, how they keep showing negative stuff over and over.
Because if you think about all of the popular reality shows.
Yes,
that
drama.
Exactly,
that
drama.
The African American audience.
Drama.
The only reason they're successful because they fight, they cut, they read, they take each other men.
Hello, somebody.
And then it's sales. The controversy sells.
So
big market rating, and everybody love it, and they just love it. They flock to it, and then they make these people stars. You know, all off reality TV, because that's what permeates our society right now.
Okay, we got 2 minutes.
You got to get something in. We got to get something.
Hold on,
you keep taking these phone calls.
No, you got 2 minutes. Let's talk about the shooting in the movie theater real quick. 2 minutes.
Okay. I think it was sad. I don't think you can go to. It seems like you can't go to church.
Okay.
You can't go to the movies.
You
can't go to the gym. You can't walk down the street.
Right.
You can't sit in your. Somebody got shot. Somebody shot up in a house the other day, and a little girl got killed again. Just, you know, it's just like, okay, where are you safe at?
So is the president right when he said he wants to do a reform on the gun laws in this country?
Okay. It's going to take more than reform on the gun laws in this country. It's going to have to take some sweeping reform on how people perceive and how they handle conflict and violence, and how we relate to each other.
I agree.
Our humanness. It got to be some intentional awareness and conscious. You got to get these babies in school, because they running around with guns.
They were in school
video with a little boy 7 years old.
I saw that video.
With a do-rag on, with a Glock and look like a machine gun rapping, and all the grown people behind him.
I saw that. Carlo, this is our last call for the show. You're on KWAM 990 Talk Radio on Unleash Voice. Go ahead. I saw that too. Go ahead, caller. Come on, Tommy. And what happened?
So they can hear. So they can hear. In studio.
I got to kill the mics for them to hear it. I got headphones right here if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate that too, Tommy. Yeah, I hate that too.
So what year was this, Tommy?
What year was this?
The 60s. So since you on the phone and you remember the 60s, was there a lot of black on black crime in